Is this thing on? Welcome back to Big Mouth and fancy seeing you here, and you are welcome, my friends. So news today is telling us there's no such thing as news today. I just mean what we've heard today is that Suicide Squad 2 will actually be set in the Middle East. What that means is apparently this new Suicide Squad team will actually be travelling to the Middle East. So the question I'm asking today is, will Suicide Squad actually will Suicide Squad 2 be similar to the first Suicide Squad? Will it have any similarities? I don't think that it is. I think it's going to be very, very different. And I think with James Gunn writing and directing this film, you better believe it. Do I think it will have a feel of the Guardians of the Galaxy? Yes, I do. It obviously won't be a galactic movie. It won't be in space. But what you're going to get this team. You're going to get this banter. It's really going to be a very, very interesting film. Now, whether you like James Gunn or you don't like James Gunn, that doesn't matter. The important thing is that we have the best creatives making DCEU movies. James Wan, David F. Sandberg, Patty Jenkins, they're the best. So James Gunn is also one of the best, whether you like it or not. Oh dear. But basically, I ate a lot of nuts, excuse me. But peanuts, yeah, clean out your minds. So it does look like this is going to be a film of its own. Obviously, Harley Quinn is part of it. There'll be a couple of other members, but there'll be, obviously, we're hearing King Shark will be a part of this team. How nuts is that? I can't wait to see how that's going to work. So it's all very exciting. It's all shaping up very excitingly. And it'll be very interesting to see what happens. Also, Ben Affleck is promoting his new film. He was asked if he'd be willing to come back to the DCEU in the future. He said not to play another character. But if he was asked, he'd like to come back and direct a film. That would be pretty exciting. Some people have said a Green Arrow movie would be great. It's not going to happen. He won't be back. I think Warner Brothers are done with him. He's done with Warner Brothers. He will not be working within the DCEU again. That era has gone. Those movies, Batman v Superman, Man of Steel, Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman, Justice League, those 5 movies have gone. There'll always be callbacks to those movies because they're part of the universe. And once they decided not to reboot the whole franchise, they were going to have to call back to those movies. But I don't think we'll see these films anything like those films. There's a new direction. It's very exciting. I love Batman v Superman. I love Man of Steel, as I keep on saying, just to remind people not to go at me when I say something. But that doesn't mean I can't be excited about the future of this franchise. Now, let's talk about the Snyder Cut. With Zack Snyder's friend last week talking about the Snyder Cut and what a tragedy it was, what happened with Justice League, there's been a lot of talk. He talked about it being complicated because you need to get actors back, blah, blah, blah. You do not need to get actors back to complete the Snyder Cut. The Snyder Cut is a completed film that either needs editing and some music and some VFX. It doesn't need actors to come back. The actors have done their bit. You can edit the film, you can put the music together, you can do the VFX, and then it's out. So at the end of the day, obviously the actors are not needed. If Warner Brothers say, "Hello, Zach, can we come in?" He comes in, him and Deb make the Warner Brothers chief a nice meal. They enjoy the meal. Then, obviously, if it's Kevin Sujihara, Zach has to stand in between him and Deb, just in case he tries any funny business. Joke. Only a joke. But anyway, right? This thing can happen. This can happen. And all you need is VFX work, editing, and music. It's still hard work, but it can be done. You do not need the actors. That is not part of the problem. The problem is here that Warner Brothers decided to go in a different direction. They brought in Joss Whedon. They tried to make an MCU movie. It didn't work. And now they're starting again with Walter Hamada. Walter Hamada made the decision himself to remove Joss Whedon to get someone else to do the Batgirl movie. I'm very excited about who they've chosen for the Batgirl movie, and we are moving forward in a very, very exciting direction. That doesn't mean I don't appreciate Zack and Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck, and I still believe Henry Cavill will replace the Superman. Who and when will all this happen? Who knows? But always keep your eyes open. Always tap for notifications on my videos, because as soon as I hear something about the DCEU guys, I'm always going to post a video very quickly, because, you know, really predominantly this channel's called Big Mouth, but my number one priority will always be the DCEU. Now we need to sit back and think about something. I just did a video called Captain Marvel Can't Win the Culture War. Just been posted, right? Check it out. But at the end of that title also says nor can anyone else, or something like that. No one can win a culture war. We dreamt so many years. We dreamt that we would get superhero movies. We had the Superman movies, but what we've got today is a proper DCEU, a DC franchise. We've got a proper Marvel franchise. It should be a very exciting time. But when you look at the negativity and poison with what's been going on with Captain Marvel on the internet, now that poison hasn't touched the film, hasn't affected its box office. I never thought it would. But it's still poisonous. It still paints a dark cloud over the MCU, but all comic book movies, because of this culture war. We have to sit back as fans and consider what we want here. Are we going to keep on being triggered by every single thing that happens? I remember someone quote tweeting the news that Suicide Squad would have like a mission in the Middle East or whatever they were saying. And this person actually said, please don't misrepresent Arabs. This is the kind of culture we're in now. Everyone's ready to be offended. Everyone's ready to be angry. DCEU fans arguing against DCEU fans. Marvel fans versus Marvel fans. Doctor Who fans versus Doctor Who fans. I've fallen out with Doctor Who fans. If you've seen my Doctor Who videos, you know that. We all have to take a step back. The comments that Brie Larson made during the build-up to Captain Marvel were inflammatory. There's no question about that. And if you're a man, especially a white man, you will be offended. My opinion is this, that any racial slur, just like a racial slur against a person of colour or a minority or a woman, is wrong. So is a racial sexist kind of slur against a man. It's no different. Racism in any shape or form is wrong. And what Brie Larson was saying was racist. Now, I applaud anyone who tries to represent on their TV shows, on their movies, as long as it doesn't affect the quality, which it shouldn't. There's no reason why it should. If you make the effort, right? Representation is something that should happen automatically, even though Hollywood want to wave a flag every time they do it, which makes me suspicious about their agenda. But the point is, here, we're all very angry. Creatives on Twitter, actors on Twitter, angry with us, the way we respond to the way they talk. There has to be a meeting in the middle eventually, or there'll be no entertainment industry. There will be no superhero films. What's happened with Captain Marvel here is very similar to the poisonous atmosphere around Batman v Superman. The poisonous atmosphere around Batman v Superman was for different reasons than actors coming out and triggering the consumer. Very different, but it was just as poisonous. In the end of the day, as a consumer, as a fan, as a member of the public, we all have to consider how we conduct ourselves. We must, especially if we've got a YouTube channel, especially, to be constructive with our criticism and the way we talk, because that makes everyone look bad. But it's not easy, because social media is here, the internet's here, and everyone's got different opinions, and every opinion conflicts another opinion. Your ideology is a spit in the face to somebody else. I keep on saying that. I quite like that. The point is, we've got to understand that there are opinions around, different opinions about, and you see, politics divide the world. So you've got left, you've got moderates, and you've got rights, you've got far lefts, and you've got far rights. The far lefts and the far rights are really the problem. Now, what's disappointing is I have to even discuss politics in a kind of, basically a video about a movie franchise, right? But I do, because the culture war has infested the entertainment industry. I've spoken about it already in my first video of the day, and I'm just talking to you about it because I know you're all involved, I know you're all aware of it, and it's really important that it stops. Now, we must get this out and get these people out. People who do not love movies, who do not love superheroes, shouldn't be part of the discussion. I don't care about politics, I don't, but I do know that far lefts and far rights are the problem. Extremists are always the problem in society. So, and it all ends up with hatred on either side. So this is what I'm going to do. Try is to stick to the films and the excitement and the awesomeness, right? And the positivity that someone like Emergency Awesome does on his videos. That's the kind of channel I want to aspire to be. That I have my opinions. You see, Emergency Awesome doesn't really give an opinion. He's really good and I like him. I want to be me. I want to put myself out there and I want to give my opinion. I love the DCEU. I love DC Comics. I like Marvel as well. I think they're great. But predominantly, I'm a DC fan. And I will always be doing a DCEU daily because that is my first concern. Well, thanks for watching, everyone. So what do you think about what I've been talking about? Are you excited about the new Suicide Squad movie? It being set in the Middle East, about the mission being in the Middle East. Is that exciting to you? As I've said, I don't think it's going to be anything like the first movie. I like the first movie, but I actually think that's a good thing. So check me out tomorrow where there'll be much more DCEU Daily.